Birth certificate. Oh, you're filming me again. 1948. Ooh. A wedding corsage. Doesn't even say. All right, Mark Jeffrey. Sunday the 15th of November. Huh. It was 7:14. Too tiny yet to speak my mind, but thanks so much. You were so kind. Thank you notes. This is all. Hospital stay that they do.
When I was younger, we used to go away a lot.
We went to Lake George, went to Florida quite a few times.
Then we started, when I was 10 years old, we started going on airplane trips.
We went to Italy, France, and England. What else? The islands continuously.
We just seemed like we were always busy.
Sunday was Mother's Day. Every Sunday was Mother's Day.
That was our Sunday thing in the afternoon. We lived in Brooklyn in an apartment building, and she would look at all these places, and we would drive out to Long Island or Westchester.
But the Yankee Clipper was the one that we went to quite a bit, where my son acted like an animal. Everybody stopped at the table to look at how he was eating. He had a 5-pound or 6-pound lobster. He fizzled off a few pieces and gave it to Debbie.
The Sapolskys lived in that building.
So now we're getting older.
Moved to Seaview Avenue in Brooklyn, Canarsie. We stayed there 6 years. 1975, we went to Starrett City. We moved in there right after she graduated high school. And she went on to Brooklyn College right after that. And he went to
Kingsborough College. That was a 2-year school. Then Uncle Mark moved out, and he had a batch of different jobs and different girlfriends and different, things going on. So he didn't come home that much. Grandpa's thing over the years was Friday nights he played cards. He went out and he played cards. And sometimes he would come in the morning, I think like 8 in the morning. But I guess we were hanging out in the kitchen. It was pretty late. And he came home and he looked at Lou and he said, "Oh, Lou Leiss, right?" And Mark, my brother, and Daddy played Little League for the same Little League.
That's where Lou comes in. His father and me used to go to all the meetings, running Little League.
And we dated for like six years. So he was over the house all the time.
That's where I met Al and Shirley and Janet and Lou. That's that family.
Like a year later, we got married. Yeah, life was good. Your brother, he was the first grandchild for both sets of grandparents, on Daddy's side and my side, the parents. So you can only imagine how ecstatic they were. It was a hard time in respects that when I was a few months pregnant, Grandpa Al was diagnosed with cancer. So, you know, that was hard.
The first baby. I remember him sitting in the living room holding me. And when we had the circumcision in the house.
But otherwise it was, you know, such an exciting and happy time. The family just wanted to be here all the time. I would say that every weekend the 4 grandparents were here. And we have a lot of pictures and videos to attest to that.
Debbie was like a crime photographer. She always took pictures.
As it got closer to Jeremy's 1-year birthday and we were trying to plan that, Grandpa wasn't doing that well. And he was going to need another surgery. And so we postponed Jeremy's 1-year birthday party. We canceled it and rescheduled it because we wanted him to be at the party. By that time, he really wasn't doing that well, and he had really lost a lot of weight. And my parents would go pick up Grandpa Al and Grandma Shirley and bring them out here.
I took him from Brooklyn, and we would come up to see you people all the time, spend the weekend up there.
And then, I guess by September, Grandpa passed away. That was a hard time. It was hard for Daddy. We have pictures of Daddy in the backyard and Grandpa Al, and he's holding Jeremy, the 3 of them. And it's funny, Daddy walks like Grandpa Al, and now that Jeremy is, you know, once he started walking everything, even the babysitter that we had, she said, he walks like him also. A few years went by, family still came, and then it was time. It was a long time in between, but then all of a sudden, I was pregnant again. And Grandma and Grandpa still came out a lot.
Then we were swimming with you. At least I did.
Every couple of weeks, Grandma with her deliveries, that was her big thing. She always used to like to buy and fill up our garage, even though it would upset Daddy.
Well, that was like during the week, but we spent weekends, when we had a chance. And if I'm not mistaken, there was one time where Jeremy roomed in with you, and I had his room. We had his room. I remember that.
It was almost like an excuse. I think they used to just like to come out to see you guys.
Yeah, those were the good old days.
And Uncle Mark and what was to become Aunt Sherry, his future wife, and then his ex-wife, they would come.
So he left us, he got married, and he left us. He got married, screwed up, and he screwed up. And he blamed the whole neighborhood for his troubles. His mother and father and his sister. Your mother and Mark were like this, just like you are with Jeremy. I can't picture it any different. That's how close they were.
Uncle Mark and I got along really well. It's like when we were younger, he used to give me a baseball cap and he used to call me Butchie. And I was like his little buddy. There's 3 years apart, but I guess we were really close because we did a lot of things together. We had horseback riding lessons together. We did ice skating lessons together, swimming lessons. We were both in single digits. And we went to we didn't wake up my parents, and we snuck out of the room and we went to the docks and we took a rowboat out and we just paddled, and I can't believe we did it. And if you guys ever did that now, I would kill you. When we got back, they were like hailing us in, and there were a lot of people standing there, and I mean, thank God. I said, we could have just fallen overboard, or we knew how to swim, I guess, at that point. But I guess it could have been really scary, but it was, I guess, kind of fun. That's the end of it?
But, look, he bombed out. And that's the way it's going to be. It's not going to change, even though we thought that the phone calls that I was getting, the dummy ones, as soon as I got on, they would hang up. That means he was trying to find out if we're still alive. You know what I mean? And that's about it.
I shut it off before. I know. Why do you have it on now? You're wasting the battery. Hi, Grandma. So what do you think now that you went to graduation today?
Very proud day for me. Where I was able to make I know about high school, but
Will you come back for Alexander's graduation also?
absolutely my pleasure.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
And then, I guess a year or so before Jeremy's bar mitzvah, Grandma Shirley got sick. So, she had some surgery and it seemed like she was doing better, and she was at Jeremy's bar mitzvah, which was great.
Grandma Shirley lives far from us, and the trip to her house is not so great. But getting there and being with her makes it worth the wait. Other times she'll take a bus and a train to get to our house and visit some more. I like when she sleeps over, if only she didn't snore. Grandma, I love you. You're the best that can be. I need you now to light this candle number 3.
Then after a while, I guess we realized she couldn't really stay so much where she was, and we moved her out here to an assisted living by the Y on Minetta Hill in Plainview. And, you know, we would spend time there, and we would hang up her, you know, pictures and decorate her rooms. And I mean, she wasn't exactly the same, but she was, you know, doing okay. And then before you know it, then it was almost time for your bar mitzvah. And definitely Grandma had gone downhill, you know, at different times, you know, a couple more surgeries. At some point, Daddy moved her to a different kind of facility because she needed too much care for the assisted living. He moved her to a place in Melville. Grandma wasn't doing well at all. I mean, it was like, almost like we didn't know how she was living as long as she was. She like stopped eating. You know, she had had some, you know, many surgeries, and her, you know, she would wear like this special protective, like football helmet, almost like an old-fashioned leather football helmet. And now your bar mitzvah is in like 3 weeks. And Grandma passed away. It was very hard for you. Jeremy really didn't cry much, but you were. At the funeral, even Joan came over to me, and she said, Alexander is really in bad shape. You're like me. You're very emotional. Me? Emotional? We got past that, and, you know, we sat Shiva here, and I had to do things for the bar mitzvah. I don't know how you did it, but you made it through.
This first candle is in memory of my Grandpa Al, who unfortunately I never met. But from all the pictures and stories that I've been told, he is someone I'll never forget. I also light this candle in honor of my Grandma Shirley. I love you and will cherish your memory forever.
I was very, very proud of you. And it came your bar mitzvah, and we had a great day, except I guess that was when I realized that something was not right with Grandma Gertie. Aren't you cold there? After your bar mitzvah, I saw that something was not right with Grandma, and I asked Grandpa about it, and he's like, mind your own business. And then out of the blue, Grandpa, you know, when I was on the phone with him, he said, I think Grandma stopped paying the bill.
She didn't get sick to 2008, and they say it was coming on from 7 to 8.
Could see that just things weren't right. You know, would go into a place and she would take food off of someone else's plate from a table and everything. And they did a test and they said that it was, you know, like Alzheimer's, dementia, you know, early stages. And it seemed okay having someone in the house the 3 days a week, whatever. But then one day he got up and, you know, she was gone. She went out, she took the wagon, she was walking, she fell. He got a call from the hospital. You know, she was in the hospital. And this was killing him. So I found a place, and they were very nice, and we signed her up. It's right near North Shore Hospital, Highfield Gardens. Now, how am I going to get her there? And so I used the premise that we were going to a spa. So she was getting her hair done, and I'm thinking to myself, how do I leave here? How do I leave here and leave her here? I didn't know how to do that. And Peggy had come by, and I said to her, I don't know, how do I do this? And she said, she's in the room with one of the nurses. Say you're going downstairs to fill out, sign the consent forms for the spa and everything, and to make some appointments for you, and that you'll be back. And she said, and then just go home. I'm like, how do I do that? She said, you just do. All of a sudden, a year goes by, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and now Grandpa is, not doing as well. His eyes are getting worse. He's slowing down. He's getting older, and he's not as stable, walking. And I wonder how long this is going to be.
I get up at 8:30, go back in the bathroom, do what I have to do, come in and have brunch. I ate 2 meals a day, a healthy brunch, and whatever I could cook up for dinner. I handle myself.
This past year, we were in California, the family, for Lindsay's wedding, and, I get a call that he had the alert button, and that he had pressed it, and they were calling to tell me that they were on the way to his house. And they got there, and he backed up without turning around, not that he could see well, and sat down on a table. He fell down, he couldn't get up, that's why he pressed it, but he was okay. They wanted to test, bring him to the hospital, he didn't want to go. That next weekend, they called me again.
Before I was going into the picture there, I didn't have the walker was on the side, and I twirled, and I went right where I sit, in there. I went between the chair and where the air conditioner is, up against there, my whole body on this shoulder. Thank God, it could have been a lot worse. I could have had head damage. Thank God.
I said to him right there and then in the hospital, I said, that's it. I can't do this anymore, and neither can you. I said, I can't keep running back and forth like this and getting these calls. And I said, the next call is going to be that you fell and you hit your head and that you're dead. I can't do this anymore. You can't be in that apartment alone. And then I went to Highfield Gardens, and I talked to the ladies again in the office, who are so sweet. And Peggy said, you're like family. Your mom has been here for 6 years already, and your dad will come here too.
I had a lot of things engraved, like awards. You saw all these things.
But at this point, Grandma is not Grandma. She is a shell of who she was. She doesn't speak. She makes noises. And he can't see. So you got some couple there, that put them together, and he would rub her arm, and she makes noises and doesn't know who or, what it is.
And my Uncle Martin. Just stay around with me, baby. We're going to go together.
He knows that's what it is, and he lives for having his radio on and listening to Mike Francesa, and having a treat of a piece of cake or a bagel and cream cheese that you'll bring. And he loves the calls, and he loves the visits, because we're all he has. And seeing Mommy, he talks to her as if she really, Gertie, it's your husband, Bert. And it's hard. I just signed the DNR for her because it's going downhill. It's been a long, slow progression, but I know where this is going to lead. And why would you try to bring her back? Back to what? Back to what she is? Back to less than what she is? And like what they have to do to you to bring you back?
This is what's going to happen. It's going to get, slow, and then goodbye, baby.
That's what it is. And, people say, oh, you're so good. You've taken care of them for so long. What are you supposed to do? They're your parents.
And that's what life is, babe. That's why I want to see you as often as I can. I want to talk to you as often as I can. I like to be around to see that you do well. You do well, Jeremy do well, and Dad and Mommy to be healthy. That's all I can ask for. This is it. This is all I got left in life is my four people. You hear what I'm saying?
Every word.
Fine.
Now it'll be like this till the end. It is what it is. Is that what you wanted?